Siesta Sand Live. Siesta Sand Live is broadcast from Captain Kurt's Village. It's Siesta Key's home to great food, great drinks, great music, and great times. Look for the giant American...
Welcome to Siesta Sand Live. I'm your host, Natalie Gutwein. Today, I have Mike Holderness on the podcast. Mike is a Siesta Key, little bit of everything out here. He owns some property. He's one of our biggest advocates. So stay tuned. He and I are going to talk about the state of Siesta. Let's see what we've got going on.
The next segment is brought to you by the Judy Berger team, part of Sotheby's International Realty. Whether a buyer or a seller, you'll be delighted with their service. And by Altez Vacations. It's the perfect place to go to find that perfect place to rent.
Welcome. I am here with Mike Holderness. If you don't know Mike Holderness, Mike owns a lot of things here around Siesta Key. You've got beachside management, you own the hotel, the villas, but you're also kind of the guy that always seems to know what's going on around here.
Yeah.
So we're just going to talk everything Siesta Key today, just the state of Siesta, because there's a lot going on. Mike and I are involved in a lot right now. One of the biggest things we've got going is the Siesta Key Beautification Alliance. That, that's taken on such a big role in my life for sure, and yours too. There's so much. Siesta Key, we got nailed with those hurricanes.
We did. We got nailed not once, but twice.
Right, yeah.
We had to prepare for the first one, Debbie.
Yes. And we also, people kind of forget, there was that rainstorm, the no-name rainstorm that came in, and we got more water. I got more water around my house from that, and that was water from above. That wasn't any kind of Gulf water coming in. We got that. We got Debbie. Then we got the two hurricanes. And we all started talking, like, what's going on? What can we do? We've got to put this place back together again.
We do. When we have those big rain events, it causes a lot of damage to the landscaping, to the sidewalks, the streets, the potholes.
Right.
It causes a lot of damage. And then when we have the influx from the two hurricanes as well, that just kills everything. A lot of the plants that people choose today are not salt tolerant.
Right.
And the pretty flowers and all those kind of things are all dead. They all die off.
Right. Well, something that Commissioner Nunder said to us, we did a walkthrough with him and talking about just looking at Siesta Key. And he said, the Romans or somebody used to put salt in the fields so things wouldn't grow. Well, that's exactly what's happened out here. Everything got covered with salt water, and nothing has been growing.
Yeah, the entire island. I don't know if most people know that. It got the entire island. Mm-hmm. Every blade of grass on the entire island was covered in salt water.
Yep.
And it was the surge that came across the key and then back over the key, and there's a lot of pockets on Siesta Key, so everything held the water, the salt water. And then we haven't had any rain until yesterday. Believe it or not, it was 6 months with no rain, basically.
Right, yeah.
And that rain we had yesterday, our storm drains are still full of sand. There's one there in the village with a street sign that floated in, and it's completely blocking it. So when we had 2 inches of rain yesterday, a lot of the businesses took on fresh water.
Right.
So it's kind of like insult to injury what's going on out here, and it's really sad. I mean, we have some great commissioners. I mean, Joe Newunder has been fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
Mark Smith is pro Siesta Key.
Yep.
Tom Knight has supported Siesta Key in a big
Teresa
way.
Mast.
Teresa.
Yeah.
So it's we have a really good culture. So I think tomorrow will look a lot brighter than it did yesterday.
Right, I agree.
But we have to get there. And we have no money influxed into Siesta Key. So all our tourism dollars leave.
Right, which
every penny of
it's
them.
a lot. You're also on the Tourist Development Council.
Yes. Yep. Just recently was appointed to the Tourism Development Council, and we're working hard. Next month we'll do a presentation from our alliance, the Beautification Alliance, to the board, and then they will take that recommendation of the tourism board to the county commissioners for a vote. We're hoping we can get an influx of revenue in, like seed money,
Right.
to attend to our needs. But then we also need to look at how do we keep money coming in for the next time we have needs. We can't come out of a hurricane and have not a nickel.
Have nothing. Well,
Nothing.
Can you talk a little bit about the dollars, the number, because I know you know these numbers, what Siesta creates, how much we bring in.
Yeah, what's really unique about Siesta Key is a donor community for Sarasota County. Mm-hmm. What that means is we give more than we use. So
By far.
So if you look at it, Siesta Key is roughly 3.5 square miles. We have one fire department, a sergeant with 3 deputies. Mm-hmm. When you look at, and we bring in 1/3 of the tourism revenue. So then when you look at the rest of unincorporated Sarasota County, they bring in 1/3 of the tourism revenue. Well, they have, 700 deputies, 500 square miles. So they take all these resources. Mm-hmm. And like Siesta Key should want for nothing. It is what literally funds Sarasota.
It funds. Yeah, everybody else feeds off of what we bring in.
Yeah, we have 8% of the population, and bring in 1/3 of the revenue.
And $0.
$0 allocated to Siesta Key. So those days are over. We had some really bad culture where Siesta Key, when we asked for something, we were called crybabies. It was a culture that was created by previous administration, a previous commission board.
Right.
So we really need to buckle down on our county administrator. I think he needs to really take a close look at what his duties are to Sarasota County. Because when we talk about Siesta Key, again, Siesta Key is the donor community for all of Sarasota County.
I've said all along, when it comes, people are going to cut us a break for the hurricanes, visitors and, tourists and all that. They are not going to expect much out of us this year.
Yes.
We have about 12 months.
Yeah,
and then once they come back, and if it's not starting to look better, they're going to go somewhere else, and we'll lose people.
Yeah, so during season, we had a good season. Mm-hmm. But what everyone needs to understand is we didn't have that waiting list. So if a guest dropped off, there wasn't another guest to fill it. We were just at that cusp. And then when we come into April, mm-hmm. April's going to be shockingly down because the word got out that, the properties are decent and the properties are nice and the
mm-hmm.
private sector has done their job. But the public sector has not done their job. The bike paths are destroyed. I mean, it's not pleasant on the streets. Our beaches are beautiful,
right?
Because they're natural, and there's money spent on the main beach. But outside of the Parks and Recs that the county physically owns, like Parks and Recs did a good job. That department of the county within the county.
Yeah.
But the rest of the county, the public works sector, has failed miserably, and they're punishing us for whatever reason. We all know it. Everyone knows it. What it is, it's not the county commission this time. It's the staff that was brought up through the ranks and cultured in a certain way through previous commission boards, and the staff, they'll look at you and tell you, well, commissioners come and go. Well, we'll be here when they're gone, and we get a new board of commissioners. And back to the topic is, if we look at places like Fort Myers,
right,
they're still down. We look at Clearwater Beach, they're in big trouble. However, they're rebuilding.
Clearwater,
so when they come back, and we still look
that's what our competition is.
That's our competition.
Right.
They're going to be brand new.
Yeah.
And what do we have?
Right. That's where we have to compete with. That's what, one of the Mark Smith coined the phrase resort quality.
Resort quality.
That's what we're going for out here.
And we'll get it.
I started to hear some grumblings from some of our sellers, and people just around the community, because they're looking around and they're going, whoa, what's going on here?
Why they don't want to live here. This isn't Naples.
Why do we still look like this? And so I am getting the word out, letting people know we are on it. This alliance is working very, very hard. We've got, it's the Siesta Key Chamber, the Siesta Key Association, the merchants, the hotels.
It's a good representation of
and the board and the Board of County Commissioners. We are all together on this.
Yes.
It's gonna take us a little bit, but we're not putting a Band-Aid on this broken arm.
No,
we are
we're not.
completely. This is a complete renovation. We are going to make Siesta Key better than it's ever been, and that's what we need people to know.
Yes.
We're working on signage. We want, when people come over that bridge, we want you to feel like you've arrived.
A good example would be Longboat Key.
Yeah? That's true.
Their county or their city manager at Longboat
Mm-hmm.
Key. Wow.
Well, they're
What
a
an
city.
example. What an
And
example.
unfortunately, we are not incorporated, so we can't do. That's what I hope people. I want people to understand that. Part of the reason why Siesta Key works the way it does is because we're not an incorporated city. We don't have a mayor. We don't have our own representation where we can go to those people and say, "All right, fix this here on the key."
Well, that's why they have us, the unofficial officials, right?
Right.
So I don't know if it's so much being a city or not makes a difference because it's another level of government, right? But what we need is really strong representation. I can't say Joe Newunder and Tom they've been really strong for us.
Yeah.
So it's about changing the culture. And if you look at how come Longboat Key can have their new street signs up that are all lit, they're beautiful.
Right.
Their sidewalks are beautiful. Their public right-of-ways are beautiful. I mean, what they've done out there is just amazing. We didn't do it because we don't have that leadership,
Right. Well,
right?
the people that we're dealing with are dealing with issues in Northport. And, the Board of County Commissioners, that's who we have to go to. We don't have, that's what I was talking about. You don't have like a city council or something that you can go to. We've got people that are dealing with huge issues in the stormwater drainage, and we're going to have to tackle that. That is going to be number one on the list of things we've got to deal with.
2.5 inch. I've been calling a guy named Spencer Anderson, Public Works, since the day after Helene. That's before Milton. And I said, hey, our storm drains are full of sand and debris and dead animals, and it's just terrible. It's just disgusting. And I said, we have to address this before the rain starts.
Yeah.
They still haven't addressed it. When I asked him to clean out storm drains, he said, well, which storm drain is clogged? Like almost
All
like
of them.
Yeah, like it was almost like an
Well,
FU is what it was.
The Gulf of Mexico kind of came onto our streets full of sand. I mean, where we're sitting right here, Captain Kurtz, was full of sand.
Yeah, full of sand. I know that the Crescent Market, they had to pay. They have some storm drains within their property. Mm-hmm. They had to pay to clean their own out, and it's part of the public system. So as soon as they clean theirs out, it rains, and now the sand from there just fills up theirs again.
Yeah.
It's nonsense. It's lack of leadership. It's lack of accountability. They got a lot to do. Well, they have a lot to do because they don't get anything done. It's a fact. We need leadership. We need a really strong administrator to run this county like a business. It's a $1 billion organization.
Yeah, Sarasota County, we bring in so much money.
Yeah.
And that's what I think where Siesta Key is standing on this now is we are finally recognizing our value and standing up for ourselves. You talked about it at the TDC meeting the other day, bringing that money back.
Yep.
Siesta Key needs to, you can't just take.
No, and what I think it's a change of culture too on our part, and it's about time we get off our ass and start doing something about it. And what I mean by that is electing the good officials. Mm-hmm. Now we have a lot of people that are like myself. In my 40s I was busy, complaining, and nothing happening. And now in my 50s, it's either give us your money or your time, and we'll put it to work, right?
Right. We've learned, when, that is a very interesting point. When Siesta Key went through this before, the people involved, it's the same people that were involved 20 years ago that are involved today with a couple of new additions. Mm-hmm.
And it's not what you say and how you say it always, right? It's very important that the message is clear and it's received well.
Right.
But it's about timing.
Right. And the residents, we
have billionaires. We have billionaires literally ready to donate to the next campaign for the next commissioner.
Oh,
So,
that's great.
And that's what's really neat about it is they've had enough. Everybody's had enough, and it gets to the point where we have to put our business on hold. Like you have a very successful real estate business. You're one of the top brokers on Siesta Key, and you're here doing this, getting the word out.
Right.
I have, probably, I'm a small guy. I probably have four dozen employees, that are working on the key. And I'm here with you today to get the word out.
Right.
So it's about
We all
time.
have to do our part to
We gotta do
I
our
spoke with my real estate company yesterday, and I told them all, we're with Sotheby's and with the premier Sotheby's agents, and I wanted them to know what's going on. So I told them, look, when you look at Siesta Key, just know we are working on it.
Strength in numbers. Now,
Yep.
I was before founding Beachside Management, which thank you, staff. I have amazing staff that's over there working right now. Like they just get it done. I mean, they're just amazing. And getting the strength in numbers before founding Beachside Management, and 10 years ago. It's our anniversary now. 10 years. of
Oh,
Beachside
congratulations!
Management. Yep.
That's a big mark.
Yep. I was also in real estate, and what's neat about that is there's a lot of realtors. A lot of realtors vote.
That's an understatement. There's
A lot of realtor votes, a lot of realtor donations, and when you have somebody that was in the business, third generation, in the business that I walked away
Your
from.
father owned Sarah Bay
Yep,
Realty.
Yep. Yeah, he's still there, 78 years old, still kicking, having fun every day with it. I kind of went the vacation route because it was what my passion is. So I found that later in life. So, my second career, I guess you would say. But it's really neat when you can get all these people. When you have somebody like you that's front and center in the real estate field, these realtors are going to listen. And they will listen to you.
Well, and they're the ones talking to the people that are coming here, and we're the ones selling Siesta Key all day, every day.
Yep.
We're the ones that are talking to the people that are coming here. And if you just land on Siesta Key and you drive through the village right now, you're not going to be very impressed.
That's right.
And I want them to be getting the word out to all. There's probably at least 150 agents in just my office. I want them to be our cheerleaders.
They will be.
I can only talk to so many people. I can, you the same to all
Realtors
of
make
us.
the best cheerleaders. They do. They do. They like to talk.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Yeah, they like to talk. So it's good. It's good because we have to change this culture. We have an election coming up for Mark Smith, so I'd like to see him real strong on this and support us in a way.
Oh, and he has been. He is all for it. Mark did the original. I know you know it, but I don't know if the general public knows.
Right.
Mark worked on the project 18 years ago to get Siesta Key, to get the renovations done back then.
That's right. That was kind of a desperation situation, and a deal was made. Maybe we should talk about that a little bit so that
that
public
is
can
very
understand what
interesting.
we're talking about.
So the Siesta Key Village Maintenance Corporation. I don't think people realize, but the commercial property owners on Siesta Key pay. He's one of them.
An extra
They
tax.
are paying their own tax on top of just everyday taxes for your maintenance.
For our maintenance.
So we're not even getting money from the county for that. What is supposed to keep the village clean is your own tax dollars, and it's only the commercial districts.
Yeah.
It's not, so I don't want the homeowners to think that they're getting taxed.
Yeah.
It is not. It is just the commercial business owners.
Yep. And
in the main village.
In the main village. And what we're talking about now, just so that everybody can understand, is we will continue paying that maintenance.
Mm-hmm.
We're not looking to reduce our taxes, even though we're paying more than anyone else.
Right.
We're still agreeing to pay the maintenance of the village. And we spoke to the South Village. I can't say for certain, but I'm pretty sure that they're willing to do the same as pay for the maintenance.
Right.
Now, when it comes to capital and safety improvements, part of the deal was the county will maintain it to a resort quality. So
right, and that was where Mark Smith came up with that terminology
Yep.
20 years ago.
Yep.
And yes, that's what the county agreed to all those years ago.
Yep. So the resort quality, well, we know it's not. So what we have going on now is like if a street sign is, twisted from a hurricane and still laying on the ground, unlike Longboat Key, who again has just done a phenomenal job. We should actually probably reach out to them and ask if they can give our consultant some information because they did a fabulous job.
Right, that's a great idea.
Whenever there's capital improvements needed, like a trip hazard in the sidewalk, things like that are money. The county has to pay for that, but they're
Right.
using our tax money to pay for that,
Right.
which is wrong. I mean, we got hit by 2 hurricanes, and that's
Right.
our focus. Our focus is the hurricanes and what's needed now, today. Forget the past, forget the old culture, the days of Siesta Key are just a bunch of crybabies, don't give them any money. Those days are over.
Right.
Those days are over. We have some very, very good people involved now that are advocates for the growth. And
Yeah.
what's neat about it is we're doing it all for the right reason.
Right.
It's not about mine or yours. It's
No.
about us as a community. And that's what's really incredible is when the storms came, before the storms, there was chatter like this organization might not have got along with the business organization
Right.
as well as they should have, or the homeowners complaining about the tourists and this and that because everything is just so lawless. Like we intensity is okay, but uncontrolled intensity
Right.
becomes lawless. And the residents have every right to complain about the lawlessness of Siesta Key. But they're blaming the wrong people. They're blaming the tourists. And it was a culture that was created. And no. We love our tourists.
Right.
They're good people. When we are 100% full and we don't have the influx from all the illegal rentals on the mainland, we can still drive around freely because our guests don't drive vehicles when they're here. They park it. It's covered in dust when they leave.
Right. And you're talking about when you're down at your hotel and the things that
Those
you...
cars don't move.
Yeah.
A lot of them Uber in. The Siesta Key residents and the tourists are not the traffic problem. The traffic problem is the illegal rentals off the key, which needs to be addressed as well. There's 6,000 of them. So if they're supposed to rent, 30 days or 6 months, well, they rent them weekly. Well, they're not even collecting tourism tax. So they're creating all this demand on us, on our resources,
But
so
they're not contributing.
yeah, then the deputies have to leave their zone to go do a party call at night into a zone, and then they can't get back to their zone for another hour because they're stuck in traffic. It's just idiocracy that's been going on, right?
Right,
So
it's
those days
issue
are
on
over.
top of issue.
And I want this conversation to be really positive because what has happened since the storms, it's something that I dreamed about for the last 20 years. And that's everybody coming
together. Yeah. When I talk to people, especially people that have been in Sarasota County a long time, they're like, wait, everybody is on board?
Everybody.
Yeah. Everybody.
When we talk about the Alliance Board, we have the residents and the Siesta Key Association, and the Chamber, and the Business Association. Everybody is.
Bob and Catherine with the Siesta Key Association, they are at every Alliance meeting.
And they're brilliant. Catherine, she's a world-renowned psychologist.
Yeah.
Bob is one of the engineers. I think there's only 8 of them in the country.
That do what he did.
Yep. So they're very intelligent people. You have some.
They're a great addition to the board.
You have some
The ideas that they've come up with. And now we've added an engineering firm, and we're working with an engineering firm to put the plan together for us.
Yep.
So we know we're abiding by all ordinances, all
which I think
laws,
will be instrumental,
zoning, right.
Because we don't want the county, again, the county staff, the few staff members. I mean, let me back up. County has a lot of staff. 95% of them are amazing, good people,
Yeah.
right? So I feel like county staff gets beat up a lot
right.
because of the bad apples, okay? The bad actors that are retired on the job, those guys. So I don't know. When it comes to Siesta Key, everybody's just coming together. We're working together. We love the key. It's when you're out here and you're touching it every day, it's like almost like a living thing.
Right. Yeah. It's when you come. I tell my
The
son all the
betterment.
time. Look when you go over the bridge. Be thankful
Yeah.
that we have this. That we live here. Respect what it is because
And
we're blessed.
Respect
We're
what it is
truly
another
blessed.
really good point. The hotels, the mega hotels got shot down, right? We were able to stop that. And the reason is, if you think about it, we're one of the only one in the U.S. that made the top 50 beaches. We're number 1 TripAdvisor, and these are all recent. These are all recent
this was
awards.
and number 4 in the world.
In the world.
In the world.
And why?
That's
Because we
huge.
are what we are. We're not just another
That
beach
is a
community.
very, very, very valid point that I hope doesn't get lost.
I hope it
we
doesn't.
are what we are.
And we need to maintain
reason.
what we have. Okay? if we go and we start doing mega hotels and not cleaning up and this and that, we're just another beach community.
And let's be fair, so the public knows you have a spot. If mega hotels came around, you could build one.
I could anyway, because I have the entitlements, but I like maintaining what we have.
You respect what Siesta Key is, and you work night and day, you and Dave both, to keep Siesta Key what it is.
Yep. And we just want to, we don't want to change it. We want to bring back yesterday. So think about this. 40 years ago, how clean and proud everybody must have been to be out here. Like the village, and it was new. So we don't want to change what we have. We want to bring back yesterday, better days of yesterday, right? And we can do that by just beautifying and cleaning up the trip hazards. And as intensity increases, our needs increase.
Right.
So, when in 2006, kind of when Siesta Key started ramping up, we probably had 100,000 people through the village. And now 50% of everyone visiting Sarasota County comes through that village. You're talking over 1 million people a year.
Yeah, it's a lot. And everybody advertises us.
Yes.
Visit Sarasota, Manatee County, the airport.
Allegiant just agreed to take the whole concourse, the new Concourse A, and add a couple more flights. So now they have 4 or 5 gates right there at the new Concourse, Allegiant.
Oh, that's great.
They're coming here for a reason, and I don't think our partner, Allegiance, would be very happy with the state of their investment, because this is an investment for them.
It is.
And it's the number one driver by 85%.
And
Lakewood Ranch advertises Siesta Key.
Right.
So come on now, folks. We just we're not complaining. We're not trying to take funds away from anybody else. There's a lot of good causes in this county. But right now, this is an emergency situation. It's dire straits. April was down. May is down. We barely squeaked through season. We had a good season. It wasn't, record setting by any means, but it was good. But it didn't have that influx. Normally for any single property, there's a waiting list for that property during spring break and stuff. That wasn't the case this year.
Well, we're going to get back to that. I have no doubt. And actually, I think we're going to blow it off. We're going to exceed where we were before.
So far beyond my wildest dreams, because here's the easiest way to generate new tourism dollars.
Well, you know what? Let's take a quick break and come back and talk about that.
Okay. Thank you.
Thanks, Mike.
The following segment is brought to you by Beach Bazaar, located in the heart of Siesta Village. Everything for the beach, and we do mean everything. And by FAM Development, the area's best in custom-built homes. Start living your dream on and around Siesta Key.
We're back. I am here with Mike Holderness. We've been talking a lot about the Alliance. One of the things I did want to mention while we're out here, we're taking suggestions. Email them to me. If you've got an idea about something for Siesta Key, email it.
Yeah, pictures. Because when you're out walking and riding your bike or your golf cart or, your dog or whatever it is, you notice things. It could be just a trip hazard. We don't want to nitpick because we probably have a pretty good idea that all the landscaping needs to be taken care of.
Right.
The street signs are destroyed. I would still report those actually to the county. But if you have a trip hazard or you're riding your bike and you have to get off your bike to go over a curb because there's no bike ramp there.
Right.
Well, then let's go ahead and mention that because that's part of the safety. And or a sidewalk that's covered in water and you're riding your bike and you have to go out in traffic to get around it.
Right.
Report that. Take a picture of it. So because, all the sidewalks need to be redone. They've been busted up and, cable companies and everybody busting up the sidewalks for years. And then they re-pour them. They never settle.
Right.
Right. So there's a lot to do. So that's a great point.
Right. And also, if you've got ideas, we're branding Siesta Key. We're coming up with what's it going to look like? What are the signs going to look like? The murals.
We have a lot of history.
We do. And if somebody's got ideas for that, email them to me.
Yep. We have a lot of history. And, we're aware of the signage, like on 75, there's one sign. And we have 3 exits. Well,
Right.
that would probably help eliminate a little traffic.
Right. Yeah, one sign that says Siesta Key Beach
Yeah.
that way. Yeah. We need billboards, signage when you get
Just
here.
to make it easy, when people are traveling, I always joke and say they leave their common sense at home. So they need a sign for everything.
Right.
Well, let's make it welcoming, like not like, oh, it's a secret, you can't find us. Like, hey, here, welcome,
Right.
welcome to
Village
Siesta Key.
this way, village that way. Yeah.
Yeah, Main Beach. Like, let's make it easy on people so they're not driving in circles and jamming up our traffic. Another thing is our main beach parking lot. I was thinking about the other day is when you go to New York or somewhere. I imagine, I haven't been there, but you go to New York and they have a parking garage. It tells you how full the parking garage is, right?
Right.
Well, why don't we have a sign on 41 when the public parking lot is full at capacity? Hey, sorry, we're at capacity. Come back another day.
Yeah.
Well, that would, if I was a family with a bunch of kids in the car, I would be happy that they alerted me that there's not a party at the end of this 3-hour wait. Right?
Yeah.
So I could go do something else with my family, not sit in traffic just to be turned around because there's no parking.
Right.
It's silly. It's nonsense. It's not how you run a business in a
Maybe come up
community.
with some partnerships for additional parking somewhere.
Yep.
That's an option also.
Yep. We
That's
got
something
there's
that we
a lot
should
of
think
options.
about while we're
Maybe
talking
part
about
of Glebe
this.
Park, valet at the main beach, those kind of things.
Oh, yes.
It'd be
That's
very
true.
helpful. A lot of revenue. There's a lot of revenue that can be generated.
And there's a couple places, the county owns a couple of properties here on Siesta Key.
Yeah. Yep.
Um,
They only own a very small portion, but they do own some that we
Right, where it used to be Public Works, when
Yeah.
Siesta Key had their own Public Works.
Yes.
That's what they still own. One down here by Captain Kurtz,
That would
and then
be
there's another
amazing.
one not too far from my house.
I spoke to a valet company about 5 years ago, and they said, hey, we'd be willing to do it and split the money. So it's a good revenue source. But it's almost like we've been punished in a sense, so anybody with a voice would go away and the big developers could come in and, eat it up like Miami or Lauderdale or
Right.
somewhere. That's not happening.
No, that's been my mantra since day one. I do not want this place to look like Fort Lauderdale.
Yeah. And the best way, maintaining what we have is why we get all the accolades.
Right. That is what, right. Because the TripAdvisor, what I really, really want people to know about that, those were votes.
Those were
By people.
By
that
people.
Came here and were compelled enough to write a review on TripAdvisor.
And keep in mind, we have about a third of the rooms as our competitors because we're smaller.
Mm-hmm.
So to get a TripAdvisor award means almost every guest has to vote for you. So
Right.
people
it's
absolutely.
a huge effort.
And you know what I see too is a lot of our tourists, they care about Siesta Key almost more than our residents.
Right.
They pick up the trash. They get a bad rap, but they are the ones out here like, we love Siesta Key. Oh, you need number one. We're going to vote for that. We want to help you after a hurricane. Like they want us to succeed.
So that's the
And our partner, the county.
feedback that you get from
Yeah.
people in the hotels and the villas and
Yep. Whereas the county, it feels like, just doesn't feel like an equal partnership. Let's just say that. It's not
no,
a
and I think that's part of why residents have been so frustrated, business owners, because we do feel like, and we have felt for years, like everybody, the county had just sucked us dry, literally.
We have so much momentum.
Then we got hit by these two.
Yep.
Yeah, we got hit by these two hurricanes.
And there's no money to rebuild. No money to
No.
fix anything.
Yeah,
Not even clean out our storm drains or sweep our sidewalks.
yeah,
That is insane. So
yeah.
I think we will be far. There's Scooter. I think we will be far stronger tomorrow. And I also believe that we could be even stronger than if we incorporated. Because why? We have the right commission.
Oh, I'm
our
so
side.
excited about our current Board of County Commissioners.
Yeah.
They are absolutely on our side.
Yep.
They understand what's going on out here
Yeah.
and the importance of Siesta Key. In years past, I don't think the previous boards looked at us like that.
Yeah, and if they want us to, if the big, guys that are running the county from the inside, if they want us to, leave them alone with our donations and, campaigns and support for other people, well, they need to leave us alone, right? Venice took notice. and Venice put the lockdown on it.
Yeah.
Right? So there's a lot of things, there's so much focus on Siesta Key, mega hotels. Well, Venice said, not to us, not today. And they put in more stringent regulations. And that's why, because they saw what these big development groups wanted to do to Siesta Key, and Venice wasn't having it. So they lost a lot of Venice opportunity. So we really have to look at things quality over quantity. Quality over quantity is how we generate more tourism dollars. And I'm on the tourism committee, so I want to be a good steward of the tax, but I also want to look at how do we make more without raising intensity. Well, it's quality. Quality equals rates.
Resort quality. Go back to that.
Resort qualities, guests will pay a little more, and guess what? If it's resort quality and it's safe and it's clean, you can walk barefoot in a beach community, they will pay a little more. When they pay a little bit more, guess what? Tourism dollars goes up.
That's right.
Because it's all attached. 13% of every dollar is collected on the bed tax. 7 to the state, 6 to the county. Well, if we can raise it up by 10%, 20%, that is a lot of money.
Right.
So it's about resort quality. And when we have that revenue coming in and not being sucked out, well, we can really make this place special and safe and clean. And let's not forget about our residents. They have to get up and go to work and come home from work and go to grocery stores and the doctors. Well, they deserve much better than what we've done. The county has just worn this place out, and those days are over. Like, it's not happening anymore.
No.
We have too many good people on here. We want to be a good partner to Sarasota County, which actually we are.
Right, and to the state.
We're a donor community.
The state's, we're hoping to get some money from them as well.
Yeah. We're definitely a donor community to the whole state.
Well, we're a destination. People come to Florida to Siesta Key.
For what it is.
Right. They get off that airplane, like you said. A lot of them Uber out here. Yeah. They do not leave.
Yep.
They eat here. They go to the beach here. They have their vacation here, and then they go back home. Mm-hmm. We are the destination. The state recognizes that. The county commissioners are recognizing that. You said momentum before the break. That's exactly what it is.
Momentum. Let's get resort quality, get the rates up a little bit. That's more tourism dollars. We have to keep the money here on Siesta Key. We need our own coffer, our coffer for the next need that we have. I mean, it's ongoing. As intensity rises, our needs rise.
Right.
We have to have a coffer, and we have to have funding set aside for this stuff.
Right.
We have
there will
needs,
always
we have
be right. We have capital improvements that we're going to need. Once we get this place to what we want it to be, we're still going to want some capital investment, but we're really going to need the money to make it look, to keep it at the level that we're going to.
And I would like to get to the point, because back to the private-public partnership. Mm-hmm. So when we can get an influx of funds, they need to run through the Village Merchant Association board so we can allocate those funds accordingly. We don't need a county staff member telling us what we need any longer. Right? So if we're willing to take back the maintenance, well, we're going to control where the capital dollars are spent. And I would like to see the capital dollars grow to a point where we could proffer, maybe $1 million a year back to the lifeguards. And get them some high-tech equipment. With like my F-250 will stop if a squirrel walks in front of it.
Right.
So I want to get these guys the tools they need, the equipment they need, grow that department, and we can do that because if we bring in those...
Right. If we're bringing in that money to Siesta Key...
Families and couples want lifeguards. They want safety.
And we want to be able to allocate funds where we see we're out here, we live here, we work here, we own here. We're the ones that are seeing
funds.
this. Right. But right now they are not. They just take.
They're gone. And again, not one nickel is allocated to Siesta Key. Not one nickel. I don't know if anybody knows that, but not one nickel.
Right.
But that's
millions
changing.
Are coming off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tens
and
of
our
millions.
current commissioners full well recognize that.
We're in such a great state, everybody. I mean, I want you to know that. It might not look like it right now.
Right.
But we are in a great state.
Sometimes things have to hit rock bottom.
They do.
And that's exactly where we were.
Yeah. Helene and Milton are going in the future. I think they'll be seen as a gift
Right.
As
It
hard
opened
as
at
it
Midnight
is.
Pass, talking about another project you're involved in.
Yep, Midnight Pass.
That was the one great. Well, there's going to be
Yeah.
two possibly
Yeah.
because that opened up. And
The
then
storm showed
we're
all the
gonna come back
deficiencies,
better.
right? The
Right.
storm showed all our deficiencies.
Right.
When Midnight Pass opened, the surge from Milton instantly diminished. As the water level was rising, let's call it Midnight Pass, right? Because that's about the time that the pass opened again. So as the Milton, the surge on the cameras was rising on the streets, the pass opened and the surge just went away. So when I asked the engineer that
That's what
worked
busted
on
it
the
open.
firm, and they said, the engineer said, well, it's like 14 miles, Mike, so the water's stacking up, had nowhere to go. So with that pass open, you should not see the same flooding as you saw in Helene and Milton.
So that is going to help stabilize us overall.
Yes. And
Wow.
our bay is amazing. So I sit on the Midnight Pass board, as you mentioned, and we were working on that for a couple years. Well, Helene came through, and there's a little walking path. I don't know if you noticed, like beach access 3 and 4 and 5 and 7, 10. Whenever there's a beach walking access,
Right.
the storm just drill bits, corkscrews right through that path. So there will be there's a 4-foot delineation between the dunes and the walking path after the storm. 4 feet. It was deep. So at Midnight Pass, there was 2 walking paths, and they're side by side, and that's right where the pass opened.
Oh.
So the walking paths actually helped open that pass. If that was all dunes, it probably wouldn't happen. And it's another reason why I'm like to advocate for dune walkovers on the rest of Siesta Key. Where you walk over the dunes, little bridge. But Midnight Pass, it's amazing. The water quality has improved amazing.
It's unbelievable how it went from just a black, dead. One of the things that got me, and I would just stare at it like it was mesmerizing, watching the black silt water, the fan out into where it was all that just gross stuff was
gross.
going in.
A lot of
getting out
water.
there.
So you'd have the fresh water would run off, which I know that the county's working on Philippi Creek and some other areas to help mitigate the watershed. A lot of floodways out east were cut off, so the water, instead of going south and east and percolating back into the ground, floods into our bay.
Oh, yeah.
So we got to work on that because we don't want the solution for pollution to be dilution, right? So when you look at and you get all that fresh water in there, is stratification, I think the term is, where the fresh water will sit on top of the salt water. So anything on the, or vice versa, I guess, and everything on the bottom will either swim away or die, right?
Oh, yeah.
Because it's fresh water and they can't survive, and it's too far it's 7 miles to Big Pass, 7 miles to Venice Inlet, right? So with that pass being open, it really changed the ecosystem to where, the fish life is amazing that came back in there.
That's
The
gonna
big
be
shrimp, stingrays, dolphin. It's just really cool. And a very important part is now we have water clarity. So now we have the water clarity, we can get the sun to the bottom and grow some seagrass.
Which would benefit the manatees.
Absolutely. And another point too with the manatees is now you have clearer water. It's not black and brackish water that's like a deep dark lake in Oklahoma or somewhere.
Right, yeah.
It's a clear water, so you can see the manatees. Plus, the opening the pass was for restoring the tidal flow to Little Sarasota Bay. Nothing to do with navigation. But the offset of that would be that smaller boats can get in and out of the pass. Well, if smaller boats can get in and out of the pass, that's less boats in the intercoastal to run over manatees.
Oh,
Fewer boats in the intercoastal. It dilutes everything. And it's also a safe harbor. We've had FWC, the Coast Guard, the city of Venice, the city of Sarasota, Sarasota County, Towboat, and Boat US. They all use the pass as emergency.
Right, it's safer.
Pass because it's too far to go to Venice, right? And if somebody drowns on Turtle Beach and they got to get them to the mainland, you got to drive all the way to Big Pass or Venice Inlet, or you just come in, Midnight Pass. So there's a lot of safety factors. If you go out there, it's a water access only park. Just be careful because the rip currents are not the rip currents, but the the tide
tidal
change,
current, yeah.
the tidal currents will rip you out pretty quick. So just be very careful. Don't swim around the pass is my recommendation. I wish the county would take a little more ownership of the pass as it is today,
Right.
meaning, signage and things like that, put on the county website. Another good part about this that the residents will love is when that pass was open, Turtle Beach never needed nourishment. It didn't have that bullshit sand that blows apart in a hurricane and fills up your condo building. It was Siesta Key quartz crystal sand where only the
When
beach.
you were growing up, Turtle Beach was white?
Yeah, it was white. And it was what's neat about Siesta Beach. Our beach actually got larger from the storms, the base of the beach.
You know-
we lost the top layer, right? But the base of the beach held together. The Nourish Beach doesn't hold together.
Huh.
It's hot sand. It's not good for the turtle sex when they lay their eggs. It's called Turtle Beach, right? Turtle
Right.
Beach. So it had quartz crystal sand, but the really thing the public will enjoy is, well, that pass is open, that beach will accrete. So when that beach accretes, then you can walk the water line down
And get
past
down
the
to it.
seawall all the way down to Midnight Pass. Right now, there has been a real lack of sand there because nothing could stay on that Turtle Beach because it was very scalloped. The current would rip right along our shoreline, and there's nothing to slow it down to deposit the sand that was coming from Big Pass. Siesta sand comes out of Big Pass. We don't share sand with anybody.
So, John Morton, last night I was talking to him. I did not realize his family's owned a place at Sarasota Surf and Racket since it was its induction. I did not realize that the water used to come up to their seawall. That seawall that is right in front of Sarasota Surf and Racket. Now it is
Well,
100 yards of
if you back
sand?
up to the 1940s, it was probably 500 yards of sand.
Really?
What happened? You might ask.
Accretion, yeah.
Well, what happened was they took millions of cubic yards of sand out of Big Pass to develop Bird Key. So 30 years later, you gotta understand only 60. Well, Siesta Key, most beaches gain 60,000 cubic yards of sand and lose 60,000 cubic yards of sand. Siesta Key Beach accretes 45,000, and they only lose 35,000 cubic yards of sand. So they're accreting naturally 10 feet of beach every year for history. And the reason why we had no sand delivered is because they took the sand out of for Bird Key. That's no sand delivery to our shoals for 20 years. Without that protective shoal, and a storm comes in, it rips the beach away. So that shoal out east, inshore and nearshore sand mining is very dangerous to the hurricanes because that is our natural storm protection. It holds our beach. Our beach might end up in the trough, so the little trough that you walk out to the sandbar,
Yeah.
maybe 4 to 6 feet. After a major storm, it might be 1 foot or 2 feet. But that sand is still there.
Right.
And it gets back on the beach. Well, when they took so much for Bird Key, it starved the shoal. We had a couple hurricanes, nothing held the sand, and it just kept leaving like idiots. Like, come on, we know better today.
Right.
We know better.
No wonder I hear in certain circles they call you the sand czar.
Well, I spent several $100,000 stopping Army Corps in the city of Sarasota from taking the sand off the front of Siesta.
Yeah.
So
Sometimes when you hear things out loud, you're like, really? They were going to do that?
yeah, they were going to do that. It's a 7-year lawsuit. So we hired a lot of sand specialists. So, I don't have a degree, but I definitely paid for it. Paid for the knowledge in layman's terms anyway.
Well, hearing that yesterday, where the sand was, that would have been probably 50 years ago.
Yeah, now they're accreting 10 feet per year every year for the last 18.7 years. We did that sand study as well. We even tested the sand in Big Pass at the university against the normal shoreline sand.
Oh.
So under a microscope and the granule sizes, it's very unique sand. We're just really lucky that it's a phenomenon that our sand deposit just happened to be quartz crystal.
Right.
It could have been anything. Could
Right.
have been normal sand, but
Out of the Appalachian Mountains?
yeah, we're a crescent beach, so the sand comes out of Big Pass and deposits it into the crescent.
Well,
It's not hard to understand, really.
Siesta Key, it's just a special place.
It
And
is.
Anybody that's ever been here knows it. That's
It
why
sucks you in, doesn't it? It sucks you in to
It
protect
sucked
it.
me in. Yeah.
Sucks you in to protect it. It's a living thing.
Yeah, I love to go out there and just put my feet in the sand, get grounded.
Cool to the touch in the middle of July.
Yeah, just get completely reset.
Yep.
And no matter what's going on, just go out there, put your feet in the sand, and start all over again.
Yep. It definitely grounds you out really quick.
And you
Takes
know-
out the chatter.
It does. And going back to the Alliance, that's for everybody. That is
Yes.
for Sarasota County. It's for the tourists. It's not just for the people that live and work out here.
See, I see our residents, like everyone, all of the ones I know as my friends.
Mm-hmm.
And it's their home.
Yeah.
It's my home. It's your
Right.
home. It's our home. And it's like, it's our community.
Right.
It's like, it's not about any personal needs or wants.
No,
right?
it's
We
about
we
making
all
this-
benefit. We all benefit with quality over quantity. The lawlessness that's been going on out here for so long those days are over.
Right.
We can't have it anymore.
No, we have to have we've got to get more control over what goes on
Yeah.
in a lot of different ways.
Yeah.
But I think we're there.
I think we're definitely on our way. We got the foundation. So if any residents, just to keep them up to date, our organization, the Beautification Alliance and the Village Merchant Association, we should say really, we decided to privately fund the work to
That's
do
correct.
the plan,
Yes.
and probably run us about $30,000 initially. And we've already approved that at our last meeting.
Yes, we did.
So that's happening now. It's actually in the works. So I want everybody to know it's in the works. What's really neat about this, we started this alliance after the hurricanes. We realized we weren't getting any help, and we're already on the agenda for the board meeting.
Right.
So this is not moving at the speed of government. This is moving at the speed of business.
Right. And that's a big
Wow.
difference. A lot of the people that are pushing this understand business.
Yeah.
And like you said, even many of our residents, they were very successful somewhere else in the world, and then they moved here, and now they're retired. And those are some of the people that are also pushing this forward.
The people even on our board that are residents out here, they're pretty amazing people in their own right. I
Right.
mean, you're talking owners of Fortune 300 companies. Like it's no joke.
Yeah.
It's no joke who's on that board. They are very smart. I don't know how you keep everybody organized.
Who, me?
Yeah.
It is like herding cats, but it's all. But then again, it's not too.
Everybody
because
has the
everyone's
same
so-
interest.
Right. Everybody is so laser focused. It's not as
We're
hard.
not going
as,
outside the four corners of our
No,
goal.
everyone is focused. They're getting done what needs to be done.
Complementing each other and
Yes,
amazingly well.
And we each have different things that we're great at, and I
Yeah.
think that's a big part of it.
And a lot of them are putting their own money,
Right.
not only their time, they're putting their time and their money.
Right. And that
you know they're
is
upset.
right. That is a combination that hardly ever happens.
Ever happen. And everybody united. Oh
Right.
man, we're winning. I'd be on this side. We're winners, and Siesta Key is going to it'll be beautiful like it was 40 years ago,
Right.
and it'll
We
still have
owe
that
it
same
to
vibe.
Siesta Key. We, as the humans around here, we've leached from it long enough,
We have
and it's time.
It's
time to. You and I, right after
runoff
Hurricane Milton,
and
we
the-
sat there and talked about this at when people were coming on the island to do their, they were looking at the storm damage. The politicians from the state, federal, all that.
Ben Albritton, Joe Gruters, met with Ron DeSantis.
Yeah, everybody, and we.
President Trump heard about it. Okay.
Wow.
He heard about the storm debris that was left. Wasn't happy. So he has a lot more impressive things on his plate, I'm sure.
We'll take
However,
care of this. We'll.
the good news is, his representation, people that are very close to him, and the governor. That's what's neat about it is we have all the support.
Right.
We have all the support. We have the entire state delegation support. So
Yeah, and that's huge. I think it's just so blatantly obvious, and we got nailed by 2 hurricanes.
direct hit.
one after the
direct
other.
direct hit, and there's not one nickel to clean up the
Right.
trash.
I think it's such an easy yes because the disparity. It's such a big difference between what we bring in and what we get back, and it's really hard.
We don't get
to
anything back.
Right,
It's
it's
like
a zero.
Ottawa in Canada.
Yeah.
They have trillions of dollars in resources and mineral rights, and the central government doesn't give them any funding back.
Anything back.
Well, they used to say, well, Siesta Key's not that many votes. Well, guess what though? Siesta Key can raise $1 million for a single district.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it doesn't mean about the votes. It's about you. We look at it as single member districts are great because we have our own representation, and we might not be able to vote for like Tom Knight, for example, in Venice,
Right.
but he sure can vote for us.
That's right.
So we're going to support these candidates like
right.
we've never done before. And, we've been sitting around, a lot of us sitting around, arguing, yelling at the county what's wrong and what's not right. But those days are over. Now,
Right.
now
We're going to
it's-
present them with a plan.
With a
We're not
plan.
just going to sit here kicking and screaming. We are going to the Board of County Commissioners. We will have it all laid out for them.
Yep.
That's where I want to get input from the community.
Because it's
Yep.
their home. And when you live out here or you own property out here, you really see things that the normal person doesn't see.
Right. Right. Well, I have already started getting emails with suggestions, and it's been great. It's even people that don't live on the Key. They come out here, they go to the beach, or they come out here to eat at one of our restaurants. They see things. Because this is, you live in Sarasota County. What are you going to do on the weekends?
That's right.
Come out here
Sit
to the
in
beach.
traffic.
Yeah.
Well, we're going. That part of the plan too will be help mitigate some of the traffic. Because when the county was asked why haven't they done a traffic study, they said there's nothing they can do to improve it. Well, when you have a parking lot that has an open door policy with not unlimited parking spaces, I think we should alert the public before they come onto the island.
Right.
That's just one thing, but what do I know? I'm just the
Right.
local
And that
guy.
is part of, this is a comprehensive plan. This is looking at everything. It's looking at the parking. It's looking at where can we put some restrooms? Where can, this is.
not one public restroom in the village. So that's something that we definitely would like to address.
Right.
I know Mark Smith's big on that. So I agree. There's a lot to do, but you know
There
what?
is.
It doesn't feel like a heavy lift,
No.
does it?
No.
Like
It's.
before, it felt like such a heavy
Well,
lift,
it just
and
felt
now
like
it doesn't.
right. If you're doing something and it just feels like
You're pulling the
you're-
wagon with flat
and no,
tires.
Right. Yes. You just don't feel. You don't have the momentum because you just don't feel like you're ever going to get there. I do not feel that way in any way, shape,
don't
or
either.
form. Every conversation we have, everybody is like, "Yep,
Yep.
get the plan
We
together."
got round tires, not square tires, right?
Hey, we're not. Yeah, we got this all figured out.
It's
We're
just
ready
it
to
has to
go.
be quality over quantity. Take in consideration the residents' needs. Take in consideration the community's needs, and take in consideration the county and the state's needs.
Right.
And that's what we're doing. It's nothing more than that.
Right. Well, Mike, thank you very much for coming on. We'll have to do
course.
this again.
State of Siesta
The
is very
state of
important.
Siesta, yes. Let us know what you think. So thanks, Mike. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
The final segment is brought to you by the law offices of Eric Fleming, specializing in real estate closings. Mr. Fleming is also the current president of the Siesta Key Chamber of Commerce. And by Gilligan's Island Bar and Grill. Experience the heartbeat of the Siesta Village's dining and social scene.
Thank you for tuning in to another great Siesta Sand Live episode. Really want to thank Mike Holderness for coming on the show. He always knows what's going on here on Siesta Key. And stay tuned to see what we're up to with this Beautification Alliance. We are really, really working hard to get Siesta Key put back together even better than before. We're going to take any ideas you have. So reach out to me, Siesta Key Natalie, on Instagram or Facebook, Natalie Overshiner Gutwein, or check us out on YouTube, Siesta Sand Live. We're on Apple, we're on Spotify, we're all over everywhere. So keep your suggestions coming, and I look forward to next week. Stay sunny, Siesta.
Siesta Sand Live is broadcast from Captain Kurt's Village. It's Siesta Key's home to great food, great drinks, great music, and great times. Look for the giant American flag.